Hey, there we are. For all of you taking bets, you just lost. Welcome to Talking Heads, everyone. Episode 183, your once weekly live show for the latest in beer and tech news. I'm Jeff.
I'm John.
Welcome to the show, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on this Wednesday night or in podcast form on Anchor.fm or wherever your favorite podcasts are found. If you've never seen the show before, we talk beer, we talk tech, we talk games, pop culture, entertainment, usually some Star Trek.
Woohoo!
This is a family-friendly show in both language and content, and we do read all super chats on the air so long as they fall into those family-friendly criteria. And if you want to take part in the super secret chat and the even more super secret after party, think about joining the Floatplane or Patreon. Links are both down in the video description. As a bonus, you'll get exclusive access to my Discord server, where you can chat with myself, John, Rhett, Steve, and all of the people over there in the ever-growing and excellent community. Welcome in, everyone. John?
Welcome. I'm back.
He's back.
I'm back. I'm back to normal.
I missed this. It's good to have you back in your full capacity, John.
Yeah, baby. I'm back, baby.
Nice. Oh, man. Boy, I posted on Twitter that we were going to go live, and you had a follow-up of, let's just get drunk instead. And I can't tell you how good that sounds tonight.
I know, it does. And actually, it was my birthday this past weekend, so my wife got me tons of liquor, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah!
Nice. Not only are you back, you're back with a vengeance.
Right. So many bottles.
All right. Well, I don't have anything too heavy for myself this week, but what are you drinking?
So actually, it's not super heavy, but it's brand new. So it's a brand new local Ninkasi. It is their seasonal release, Stratoscope.
Ooh.
And it's a nice big tall boy, too. So
Nice.
Coming in at 6.4%. It's an IPA, but it's a single hop, so it's all Strata.
Oh.
So 1 pint, 3.2 ounces.
Interesting.
So.
I'm going to start off with a good old Oregon favorite, Wanderlust from Breakside.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Northwest IPA, 5 fresh Northwest hops, tropical and nuanced, north of refreshing, 6.2%. So we're right in the same...
Right in the same ballpark as percentage on this one.
Yep. And I had a beer earlier today, so I'm just reusing that glass.
Thought I would have enough there, just enough.
Boy, is that clear.
Oh, yeah, I can see through it.
Wow.
I can't tell about mine.
Yeah. People are saying John is super quiet. Let me see if I can give you a little bit of a boost on my end. Oh, I think I turned it down last week for Steve, and I just never adjusted. Just go ahead and say something.
All right, I'm going to drink my beer, and this is going to be wonderful. Cheers, all.
All right, there we go. That should be a little bit better. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right. I haven't had a drink yet. Hold on.
Feels good to do that again.
Boy, that is crisp. And usually the citrusy hops, they lead with the citrus and you're left with that grassy, oily.
Mm-hmm.
This is like inverted. This is like a little bit malty and pretty thick-bodied on the front. Thicker than I would imagine for such a clear liquid.
Oh, yeah.
And then it leaves you with like this nice little orange zest.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is actually really a pretty nice beer. Nothing really super complex. It says it's an IPA. It tastes more like a really thick oaty pale. This is just such a barbecue beer.
Yeah.
You know, it's not overly hoppy. It's not overly grassy, but you know, there's just hops in it.
Uh-huh.
And but I really want like a juicy bacon cheeseburger with this type of a thing,
Yeah.
And some French fries, and I would be totally happy.
I can totally see that for how you described it, because there's a reason, as much crap as we give a lot of domestic beer around here, there is a reason that when you go to a barbecue, it's Coors Light, Miller Lite, Bud Light.
Yeah.
There's something about a lager and a barbecue. And
yep. Yeah. Well, you go there to drink or eat the food and enjoy that grilled crispiness, whether you're grilling it on a barbecue, Traeger, propane, charcoal. However, you want to taste all that. You don't want this double IPA hazy, thing
right
coating your mouth, and you're just like, I'm just shoving substance, and
yeah.
I want to taste the burger. I like this because this
depends on whose barbecue you went to, though, because there are some where give me a hazy.
Yeah.
What's the thickest hazy you have?
Propane, and they cranked it on high, and the inside is as dark as the outside.
Right. All right, we got a super chat to start us off. Michael, $5 donation. Thank you so much. Love you, Jeff. Here's my bet. All right, we beat the clock, John. We beat it. Let's see. Novella Hub challenge John to an ABV war. We were actually just talking about that right before we went live.
We were.
About man, I feel like a really strong drink tonight, and John's like, well, I got a 6.4 and then I've got a 13 point. I went, I'm not gonna go there tonight. Like, I could, I mean,
yeah. Oh, I was like, oh, I could, I got other
right. Like I can open bottles. Like
I can open bottles now.
It's like, no,
I've been saving.
Yeah, but it's like, no, I've got stuff to do tomorrow. I'll stick with my 8s. So.
I know. Well, I was like, I have to do something big though tonight. At least one of them had to be big. So that's why I was like, okay, 6.4. That's relatively low.
So we do have a couple of beers in here. Novella Hub's drinking an Abomination Stargazer Brewing collab. It looks like Dreamsphere. Sour ale with raspberry, strawberry, blueberry, frosting, lactose, and vanilla beans.
Oh my gosh, how sweet is that thing?
Right.
Gosh. I've been having some of those jammy sours recently, and I'm over them. I'm really over them. I really
because I have one here for you. I have one in the fridge for you.
I'll drink it and I'll try it, but I'm going to I take him to to share basically, and I only want 3 ounces of it. I that's it. That's all I want to try.
I will say this is by far the best one that I've had, the best jammy sour. All right. And it was more like because a lot of times the sours have really the same kind of effect as a hazy, where after a couple of drinks, it's either way too much or it's all you can taste. Yeah. And all you taste is the sour, or it's just like, nah, I'm done. This tastes like blueberry pie for about 3/4 of the way through it.
Oh.
Like it's solid. It is absolutely solid.
Let's see. Am I loud now?
Oh, yeah, you're plenty loud now.
I think I know what the problem is. Hang on, let me go down. Aha. So my son has been messing with the volume on my little...
Change your gain settings. Lost you completely now.
Because I turned it off.
There you go. Hey, welcome back, John.
There we go.
I missed this.
I'm not that drunk yet, Jeff, all right?
All right, we got a $4.99 donation from J Derp. Thank you so much, sir. When can I get part 19 of the cloud gaming machine? My Epic server is getting some RTX Quadros soon. Ooh. For a second there, I thought you were asking, when is your Epic server getting some RTX Quadros? That's how I read it the first time. And I was about ready to say, that had better be way more than a $5 donation if you think I'm going to get 4 RTX Quadros for this beast. They're a little bit more than that right now. So, But no, RTX Quadros, that would be sweet. I've been asking a couple different places about the potential of getting RTX Titans, RTX Quadros. I'm putting feelers out there. So I'm trying to get something because, man, I just so want this cloud gaming server to go out on such a high note. Even though it started as like a $400 project and has ballooned into like almost a $3,000 is what I'm into it. Monstrosity. I still want it to go out on a high note, even if I have to spend more money to do it. And we haven't even gotten to the AMD SRIOV or a couple of the other solutions that I'm working on. So, yeah.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I was really looking forward to, even if it turned out to be like a total retro gaming, and I would really like that. That would be super, super fun.
Yep.
But yeah, you still want to go. I mean, that's not a high note. You're just like,
right, exactly.
Yeah.
It's not so much that I want to give up. I want to make it a consumer friendly, something that you or I could build for a reasonable amount that can have more than one gamer and be fairly dynamic in the power load. And so that was the ultimate goal with vGPU, and then we went way off the rails with that, and then I went PCIe pass-through, and that did okay, and then I've got SRIOV cards and whatnot, and I'm starting to get some more things dialed in, but then all of a sudden out of left field, and I have no idea if I influenced this or not, because here's the deal. If you search for NVIDIA Grid or Quadro Grid or Gaming on Quadro or any number of combinations, my face pops up as the third result on YouTube every single time. And that's only because the top two are always text, and then if there's a whole bunch of video information, they will post videos below that. And one of my videos, usually the one where I'm going, pops up whenever I search. And so it's a really difficult thing, though, because if I'm trying to uncover some information or look back to like documents from like 2010 when these cards were new, or I guess 2012, 2015 when these cards were new, every time I search for anything grid or quadro related, it links back to my video. Or someone in the forum post that I'm reading says, oh, just go check Craft Computing. He did all of this.
Yeah, I know. And you're like, no, I'm still trying to figure this out.
Right. So it's both gratifying and incredibly frustrating.
Yeah. I totally get that. Get that.
Big Spoon, $4.99. Thank you so much, sir. How much to get the bunny drunk? I don't think it's going to cost that much tonight.
Nah, it wouldn't cost that much. Probably just going to have it naturally.
John, all your doge. All right. And one more super chat, and then we will dive into tonight's top story. From Novella Hub, $5 donation. Thank you, Novella Hub. Much appreciated. Happy birthday to my son, Matt. Matt DW in chat. 19 years old today. He just finished his first year of college in Fargo. Excellent.
Happy birthday, Matt.
Congratulations, Matt, and happy birthday. That's awesome.
Go to Canada or Mexico. You could be drinking right now.
Well, it said Fargo. I'm assuming he is drinking.
Oh,
yeah. What else is there to do on the sprawling metropolis of Fargo, North Dakota? All right. Let's get into it.
Up 10.
Yeah. What's that?
Up 10.
Yeah. Up 10?
Yeah.
Who up 10? You? What? Huh? Me?
Us up 10. Blazers up 10.
Oh, up to, yeah, okay, sorry. I know, I'm watching it.
Okay. I don't know.
I've been pretty focused to this point, but last I saw it was 73-63. Yeah. And then we went to break. And yeah, so.
Well, I don't have a TV, and I was like staring at a camera lens the whole time. So I was like, oh, I can't see where your eyes are.
No one would have even known because I haven't been staring off that direction, nor am I getting excited, and I've been pretty focused. But you throw in something, and I'm like, up 10, and we were talking about volume, and so I'm going, DB, what? What are you, you're still quiet? What the crap?
We'll wait till the fourth quarter with 2 minutes to go. We'll see where your eyes are at then.
Yeah, we'll see. I have no claims on how good the second hour of the show will be. But let's go ahead and get into it. So this dropped right after or right before last week's show. I don't remember. It was within like 12 hours of us being on air. That the New York Attorney General, the one who was investigating the claims of falsifications of comments and whatnot, to the FCC relating to the overturn of net neutrality. So this document and some news articles related to came out very, very shortly after the show last week, I believe, stating pretty much what we all thought and suspected and expected happened. And that is that the biggest ISPs in the country paid for now the title is a little misleading in this, and misleading in they're not exaggerating it enough. Biggest ISPs paid for 8.5 million fake FCC comments opposing net neutrality. So this article's in Ars Technica, but you can read it just about at every major tech outlet. That what we thought we saw happen actually was the thing that happened, and that was there was an astroturfing campaign paid for by telecommunications companies throughout the U.S., mainly our biggest broadband providers, but also people who have regional monopolies and have kind of written the laws to define them as such, or not define them as such, rather. And Simon's for the 3. Sorry.
Oh, I'm totally focused.
I'm sorry. That was a big possession. That fake grassroots campaign, so astroturfed campaign by the biggest providers you can think of, and if you can think of their name, they're probably on this list. It was AT&T, it was Comcast, it was Cox, it was CenturyLink, it was Verizon.
If you have a cable provider, they were probably on it.
Right.
Or, yeah.
Correct. And Verizon wasn't listed by name because they're not in one of the groups that was funding this, but they are in part of one of the other groups that was funding this. So they didn't get listed with the big cable companies, but Verizon's in there too. So I said 8.5 million fake comments. Well, it turns out that there were a total of 22 million comments in response to the FCC asking for public feedback about repealing net neutrality. 22 million comments submitted by the general public. 18 million of those were fake.
Yeah.
18 million. 80% of public comment to the FCC in regards to the repeal of it were fake, were bought, were paid for, were insert fraudulent term here.
I'm shocked.
I'm just terribly shocked.
Right? It's like, how? I mean, wow.
Mm-hmm. Basically, they paved the way for Ajit Pai to say, well, there's definitely a split out there. I mean, most of the comments that we've received here at the FCC were overwhelmingly, anti-government interference. And how dare you try to allow us to make our own municipal broadbands? And why do we have to compete with each other? And all that. Can't the corporations just win one? And so let's go ahead and overturn it, said the former Verizon lead attorney. So the other part of this is that the FCC themselves was complicit, because it didn't take a rocket scientist to see that probably close to 20 or 30% were just copy paste of either one of the main threads or one of the talking points sent by Comcast, AT&T, Verizon, CenturyLink, Cox. I don't want to leave anyone out anytime I say cable companies, because screw you all. But industry-funded research stated that 85% of genuine one-off responses were in favor of keeping net neutrality in place. 98.5. It wasn't the left, it wasn't the right, it was corporations versus bipartisan America. 98.5% versus corporations' public interest or monetary interests. And like I said, can't the corporations just win one? Now, the most disgusting thing, and this is a very interesting article, very well written by Ars Technica. The very interesting thing is the penalties that are being assessed. John, what would you say would be a fair penalty for submitting 18 million comments?
You just get a strike. That's it. You get a strike.
You get a strike?
Just a
slap on the wrist. Yeah.
That's because that's how it all works. Once you're caught.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So
I believe so. I mean, that's how it works with everything, right?
Right. So yeah, all of a sudden, John, you're really staticky. Oh, there it goes. I think you hit your receiver.
Maybe.
So 18 million falsified, fake, made up, bought, paid for, coerced, whatever comments to keep a corporate's public or monetary interests in check. And the cable companies, internet providers, broadband providers, AT&T, Comcast, Cox, CenturyLink, Verizon, they have to pay a grand total of $0 in fines, fraud. Yeah. The reason being is they lack evidence that the broadband companies had direct knowledge of the fraud, even though it was their group, their collective group, that funded this campaign, that funded this AstroTurf campaign. They have no evidence that a company in particular led the charge and wrote the checks. All they know is that the groups they are members of were soliciting, hey, who can make us some falsified comments? However, the companies that were hired by the cable group have been assessed $3.7 million in fines and penalties. $550,000 and $150,000 to OAG Fluent Inc. and React 2 Media Inc. Right. Which is what's the going rate for 18 million falsified comments?
Yeah,
is it $1 a comment?
What's the going rate for one of those companies? Like what a single state probably pays them for cable or internet.
Right.
What is Oregon, all of their Comcast customers for 1 month subscription? How much money is Comcast making of that? So that 7 point whatever million, nothing.
Right. Yep.
It's not even $1 a comment.
Yeah. And I'm doing my best to keep this non-political because net neutrality is a bipartisan issue. 98.5% of people who genuinely commented to the FCC to say, do not overturn net neutrality. 98.5% of people were against the repeal of net neutrality. So this isn't left. This isn't right. This isn't.
This is just corporations giving their consumers the biggest middle
finger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Possibly. That's exactly what it is. And absolutely zero penalties.
Yeah.
Incurred because of it. Because, well, we can't find that they broke any specific law directly. And so there's really nothing we can do about it. Well, then I am so beyond frustrated about this particular situation. And the thing is, this crap happens all the time. It happens all the time. And because of the size of the companies involved, the fines assessed, even if they were assessed to the companies that violated these laws, even if they were assessed there, the penalty is not as severe as the crime.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're basically saying that we can't give them a big penalty because they're going to screw over everyone because they can control everything, and they because it has been overturned already. They technically now have the right to screw over everyone.
But here's the deal: what did they pay for 18 million comments? That'd be the interesting thing to find out. Because was it $6 million all spread out? Was it 7 million? Was it 8 million? Unless it was less than $4 million, those companies still made money.
Yeah.
3.7 million in fines. Well, if you made $7 million combined between the three, you're not doing too bad. I'll pay that. I'll pay that hit.
Well, and that's usually exactly what it is. I mean, I'm sure the cost benefit and outweighs. I'm sure all of their lawyers and everything pretty much knew that.
How much is it going to cost us to buy the election? How much is it going to cost us to, if we get caught for buying the election? How much is it going to cost us to not fight it? Yeah, and we could buy it out and then just pay the fines when it wins every time.
Yep. Pretty much every time. No, we get a bad reputation. What are they going to do? Not have internet?
Right.
They're still going to buy from us.
Right. Because who else are they going to go to? Yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry. Would you like to see the manager?
Yeah. Oh, that South Park.
That sucks.
Oh, this would make you even more miserable. Oh.
Gosh darn it.
Going to Starlink.
Yeah. I within the next, as soon as I can get it, I'm going to start paying for a Starlink dish here at the house to have a redundant connection.
I ordered mine already.
Right. So I'm going to get one here as soon as I can. Like, I can give them $100 a month. I already give Comcast 130.
Well, that was the thing. I was looking at them, and who's the other guy in Salem around you? There's another YouTuber. You're like not too far. I forget what it is, but he did a Starlink video. Never mind.
I know the editor-in-chief for Anantech lives near me.
No,
and there's some. There's a whole the modding community revolves around Salem. Like no one knows that, but
yeah,
there's like 4 of them like here.
But no, because I specifically knows he lives in Salem because he did a Starlink video and he was on I-5 and he was by the Willamette Valley Vineyard.
Oh, nice!
I know where you're at. Yeah, he was getting almost 100 megabits up and down. He did a live stream using Starlink in the middle of a field. Nice. Because he was within 20 miles of his house and a hub, and it took him about an hour to resync everything up, and it was pretty cool. But yeah, and then the price wise of $100 a month, that is cheaper than most regular internet providers.
Right. For 250 by 80 by unlimited, like
yeah. Yeah, and it's just they're saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, that's just testing. It's gonna improve." So
shout out from Prineville. Hello, Prineville.
I don't see a
my parents now live in John Day, so they're even further east than you are. But hi.
You did get a very large super chat from Nerdy Boy TV.
How in the world did I miss that?
Yes.
That is my bad. Nerdy Boy TV, $100 donation. Dude, thank you so very much. Love the channel and the content. Keep up the great work.
I'm pretty sure he was talking about my channel, though.
Yeah, John's the other one, and yeah. I didn't see John's broadcast. Well, I did see one of the broadcasts. May 1st at midnight. That was a sight to behold.
Well, you didn't stay up there until 2 a.m. Oh, that was a mistake.
You guys do not want to see John on a reverse bender. On a sobriety recovery. Scary things happen.
I drank everything. We played we played fridge roulette, and we had people just third shelf on the left, fifth back, and then I just chugged it.
Yep. Let's see. I missed something. Hold on. Anyway, so now one of the main promises that Ajit Pai was leaning on, and so were all the cable companies, is we rely on customer service and your contributions to our companies, so we can, you know, keep you with the best quality service possible and whatnot, and low prices, you know, no matter your market, even though the prices vary wildly in markets that they actually have competition, where you actually get competitive rates, versus my market where it's like, yeah, do you want a 1.5 DSL line, or, you know, 50 megs of cable, up to gigabit of cable, which means you pay for it. But the one promise that a lot of people were touting if they are able to repeal net neutrality is that prices will go down. Because net neutrality is forcing us to compete at a higher level and pump so much more into our infrastructure, because no one else can build here, prices are going to have to go up. And so if you make us compete, prices will go up, which is the inverse of supply demand. But rather, since the overturn in 2018, shocker of all shockers, prices have risen across the board 19% for broadband internet. 19%.
Shocker.
And you know what? I felt that directly, because I paid $90 a month at my last house, and now I pay $130 for the same service.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was crosstalk. That's what it was.
Oh, cross. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Down in Eugene. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Boy, I feel bad now. I'm sorry, crosstalk. I'm sorry I forgot you.
Yeah. So, but, well, I did say he lived in Salem, not Eugene. So. But he went to Salem.
Yeah. Okay.
To test it out.
Yeah. Tripic sends over 5 Kiwis. Thank you so much. The bottle of scotch in my work desk drawer is looking mighty tempting.
Yeah.
I say go for it.
I guess.
I'm not your boss. You're going to get nothing but encouragement from me.
Just say Craft Computing said so.
Craft Computing said it was okay.
Yeah.
You tell him that, Tripic.
Yeah.
So yeah, 19%. Shocker of all shockers. Outpacing even the worst of inflations. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. You get caught your hand in the cookie jar and you're just like, you know what? Let's raise prices.
Yeah.
To recoup that money we already gained.
Right. You know, not to mention the billions in tax subsidies they've received, as well as grants and federal funding over the years to build fiber optic networks that, shocker of all shockers, have never been built.
Yep.
Yep.
I mean, it's like the railroad company all over again.
Precisely. What do you mean it's like? It practically is.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. So, if you couldn't tell, I'm a little frustrated. I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated beyond belief. But I did my part. I submitted a public comment. Too bad. There were 16 other comments submitted by other individuals that
probably named Craft Computing.
Right. No, I actually did search for my name, for my parents' name, for relatives, for that kind of crap, because I would have contested and sued on their behalf. If anything like that had happened. I can't sue on behalf of, you know, the Oregon people, but I could certainly sue if I myself was personally impersonated and whatnot. Like, you're darn right I would. Anyway, John, we have a sponsor.
We sure do, Jeff.
We have a sponsor. Just like last week, this week's episode of Talking Heads is brought to you by Linode. A large chunk of my audience watches for the home lab content, but not everyone is as crazy as me and wants to stick a server rack in their garage or dedicate a room for one, let alone the power and cooling requirements that come with having a full server rack. Rather than hosting your own personal server cloud, let Linode host one for you, because if it runs on Linux, it'll run on Linode. That includes many of the software tutorials I've posted on this channel, like how to run your own ad blocking and recursive DNS server, or set up your own personal VPN and browse the web securely from anywhere. Linode makes it simple to deploy and manage your own cloud services with solutions ranging from a single shared CPU to massive multi-core virtual machines. With shared CPU plans starting at as little as $5 per month and scaling up to as high as you need to go, you'll be able to find a hosting plan that fits your needs. Install your favorite apps and services from scratch or start with one of the many pre-configured one-click installs from the Linode app marketplace. Even if you do host your own servers, you can use Linode to keep a backup of your systems off-site. Visit linode.com/craftcomputing to get a $100 60-day credit just for signing up for a new account and get your home lab or small business started today, or large business or medium business, or whatever you'd like to start. That's linode.com/craftcomputing.
Oh, they can do it all.
Thank you, Linode, for sponsoring today's Talking Heads. And now back to our program.
Was that for the podcast format?
Yeah, that's for the podcast transition. Yeah.
So we need to film a specific video that you can do and just hit play.
For the ad read or for
the ad read or something
that feels disingenuous.
You know what we should do?
It takes the excitement out of a live read.
It does, but or you should transition to it at the 1 hour mark, so that way I can go get my beer.
There you go. While I'm doing a read, you're more than welcome to go grab a beer.
Well, I still got a little bit left.
Yeah, I'm down to about there, so it's getting close.
I mean, I'm happy to be drinking right now, so I'm drinking a little faster.
So.
It's been a week, Jeff.
It's been a week. Yeah. Just to let everyone know, yes, the sponsors are a new thing with Craft Computing, or with Talking Heads, rather. I've never really monetized a Talking Heads before. I will never do more than 2 1-minute ad reads, one at 30 minutes and one at 60 minutes. For the next couple of weeks, we still only have one sponsor spot, but I am starting up a second sponsor spot, I believe the first week of June. But don't worry, this thing isn't going to... Talking Heads will remain absolutely the same. We're not going to be riddled with ads and making you click off of things. It's just a way to actually start making money on the channel or on the podcast, because the podcast has never been a moneymaker.
No, but if you do enjoy this show, you know that you want this to grow, and this is how it grows. Right. I mean...
So, yes, there are ads, but they will always be reasonable, predictable, and within the stuff you would normally see out of me. So, today's Talking Heads is brought to you by Nike.
Well, we are in Oregon.
I mean, yeah, that one makes sense.
Yeah, that would make sense.
By Symantec. Oh, wait, we got that. Epson. Crap. Xerox. Damn it.
By Wish.com.
Intel. We have a lot of companies right around me that could probably sponsor me. But
Cisco. Oh, wait, that's a different Cisco. That would be weird, but everyone would think it's Cisco Communications when it's Cisco Food Packing. Yeah,
we have Cisco's headquarters just 30 miles north of me. It's Cisco Food Packing, but same thing. Same thing.
Yeah, same thing. Well, what's so funny is their font looks actually pretty close sometimes. Corner of my eye. I have to drive by it at work, and it was like, oh yeah, I have to remind myself that's not Cisco, the communication.
Yep. By the way, Blazers up 11 with 5 minutes left to go in the fourth at Utah at the #1 home record in the NBA.
Crank that up.
Yeah. So sorry if I'm distracted for the next 15 minutes or so, but it's a good game so far. And go Portland, Rip City. Well, it depends. Most providers on the Utopia will charge anywhere between $199 to $249. Yeah, usually Utopia falls right in the $200 to $250 mark, depending on where you get it from, state taxes, that kind of thing. How do we donate in Doge? Thank you, Spoon. I actually don't have a wallet. I don't even have a crypto wallet yet. I'm one of those cretins.
Spoon, you can hit me up afterward.
9581.
Yeah, I know.
Mellow drills a 3. Nice. Stay mellow. All right, sorry. I promise I'm not getting into sports talk tonight. Even though the playoffs are coming up, we could totally. No.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that. I mean, we'll make it, but man, I don't know.
You know, the thing is, they're peaking at the right time. You brought this on, so I'm gonna take 2 minutes. You brought this on. The Blazers are peaking up at the right time. They've won 8 out of their last 9 games, including 4 on the road in one of the most difficult road trips of the year. They went 4-1. The only one that they lost was when they landed at 2:30 in the morning in, what was that, New Orleans? I want to say it was New Orleans. They landed at 2:30 in the morning, had a tornado warning. Or no, that was Atlanta. Atlanta? No. Crap. Charlotte. It might have been Charlotte. Anyway, they landed at 2:30 a.m. after playing a game that lasted until like 11 p.m. And so they were, getting out of the arena and then on a flight to their next destination. So they land at 2:30 a.m. They have a game at 6 p.m. So you've got less than 18 hours to rest before your next tip-off. They were woken up at 4:30 a.m. by a tornado warning, evacuated from their hotel. So there's a good chance that the one game they lost, no one got any sleep.
Yeah, but I mean, if they sit at that ranking right now, I mean, it would be better if they won. Oh, you know what? I just got died.
Adam Smith, $5 donation. Thank you. I didn't miss it. I saw it.
A great time to go grab a beer.
Look up FCC and emergency broadband benefit for low income help. $50 off internet. Love the channel. The thing is, I can afford broadband. I need it for my job. I need it for this channel.
Oh, come on.
But I don't need an extra $50 a month. I can gripe about the prices because I know it affects other people. But yeah, I would feel disingenuous for taking $50 in FCC emergency funds, even though it's the FCC that caused this whole thing. But no, Blazers have won 8 of their last 9 games, most of them on the road. They've been beating playoff teams. In fact, they're up 14 right now at Utah with 5 minutes to go. By the way, the number 1 team in the NBA this year. The Blazers are absolutely peaking at the right time to be going into the playoffs with only a game left. So, yeah, John doesn't like our chances. I definitely like our chances. I'm trying to wait for John to come back, but I think I'm going to have to finish my beer. All right. Says, yeah, it wasn't directed at me, more for people who need it. Yeah, thank you, Adam. Yeah, and yeah, that is a program that is available, and it's money for those that might need it. You back? I think he's back. There he is.
There I am. My battery completely died.
Oh, no. Are you off again?
I shouldn't.
You just blacked out on my screen.
I plugged it in.
I don't know, sir. Anyway, I'm going to jump into the next story. And that is that The Vive Pro 2 specs have been officially announced. The Vive Pro will come in with a 5K 120Hz LCD, 120 degree field of vision, Steam VR support, and Steam VR tracking. This is their first new release since the Vive Pro, and that was back in 2018, which, by the way, I had the first video on YouTube about the Vive Pro where I was actually wearing one. So I think I actually took that video down because it was terrible. But I was the first one on YouTube with the Vive Pro on my head. Anyway, it's definitely getting a bump up as far as specs goes. We're going from 1440 LCDs to a 5K OLED. Or sorry, they were always OLED on the HTCs. We're going from 1440 OLEDs, I almost did it again, to a 5K OLED, jumping from 90 to 120 hertz, and new wider field of view lenses. However, it is still using the same exact tracking system, and it's still wired, which, I'm sorry, but in 2021 is starting to feel a little bit dated for a VR system. Yep. And thank you, Quest 2, for making that the way we all want to live from now on.
Yeah, I know. I mean, those things are actually really nice. I mean, they're not like the greatest.
I have
headset.
2 of them.
Yeah,
it's all I use anymore.
But they are so convenient and so easy to use, and you're just like, you know what? I want to play, and you can just have it literally next to you on your couch, and you're like, I'm gonna play VR,
right?
And you just play.
No, I have 2 Oculus Quest 2s, and that's because my daughter kept stealing mine from me, and I'd find it with the battery dead, so it's like, I'm gonna have one for me, and then one for the kids to play on. Yeah, we keep them under the coffee table in the living room. You don't have to have... I don't have any hardware in my living room anymore. I took out my gaming PC, which was my main VR PC, up there. And now, if I want to play a PC VR game, I just stream it from a PC that's downstairs that's hooked up to 10 gig. And I've got an AC wireless point right above our entryway into the living room from the hallway. And so I have the perfect scenario for...
wireless.
For doing a wireless setup. And it works great. John, there he goes again.
What?
I don't know.
What is going on?
I don't know. Time for a new camera. But yeah, so I have the absolutely perfect setup for it, which means I don't have the bulk of a gaming PC. I don't have a tether going that I'm tripping over in the middle of the living room. My living room is kind of in a wide orientation, and so I would get about, I don't know, 8 feet of vertical travel and about 10 feet of lateral and whatnot. And now with the Quest 2, I don't have to worry about cables. I just put it on my head. Oh, and I have an Elite strap, and I have a battery pack that mounts to the back that I have 3 for each of the Vives, and they're 4,000 milliamp batteries that are just a little pack about this big. They mount on the back of my head and give me like 3 times the battery life of the Oculus Quest. So we could literally play both headsets all day long. And the games on the Quest are fantastic, and the games that you stream from your PC are equally fantastic. So the fact that the Vive Pro 2 will still be $799 for just the headset. $799. $1,300 if you want the full package. And then an extra $350 if you want it to be wireless.
So see, there is a wireless.
Right, yeah, there's a wireless adapter that costs more than the Oculus Quest 2, which is $299 for everything, not including the PC you don't need. Like, it's crazy what the Quest 2 has done for the market. Now, you can argue the Facebook factor, but tell you what, for $500, I can now get a Quest 2 that is not monitored or tracked by Facebook in any way, shape, or form, and I'm still cheaper than the entry price for a Vive Pro 2. No, it's identical. It's $799. It's 500 plus 300. Yeah, it's $799. So you can either get a Vive Pro 2 with no new controllers, no new tracking, no new anything else, and no wireless. And you have to bring your old controllers forward from your existing setup. So if you're new to this, it's still $1,300. Or you could buy a Quest that can't be tracked by Facebook.
Yeah, that can do basically the exact same thing. Now, I actually don't remember what the screen is and everything on the Quest.
They actually just sent an update up to 120 hertz now. Now it's not.
Okay.
Now it's not 5K. It's, I believe, dual 1440s or a 1440p screen per eye. But that's still really good. And while it's definitely not the best optics that I've ever used, and I've used quite a few VR headsets fairly extensively, including the Pi 5K, Pi 5K Plus, the big, ultra wide behemoth.
Yeah.
Looked like a hammerhead shark on your head. And great headset, probably the best visual experience I've experienced to date, but still slightly clunky in its implementation. But I've done the Vive Pro, I've done the Vive, I've done the original Rift, I've done the Oculus Quest.
Currently, right now, the Quest 2 is the best bang for your buck, and it's almost like the Nintendo Wii.
Yeah,
it is bringing. It was so cheap, and it's bringing so many people into VR that would never usually play VR games.
Yeah,
and it's. I mean, it's probably better than the Wii, but because of the graphics and everything. But
yeah,
it's just that appeal to the masses of like, hey, I don't need a computer. I don't need something. I can literally just take this and play a game anywhere. I mean, I have people at work being like, oh, dude, have you ever heard of this VR thing? I was like, I have a VR headset in my office for the past few years. I do this.
I leased an arcade space to a guy who ran a VR.
Yeah, I was like, I know what VR is.
Right.
He's like, oh, I got this really cool point. It's like, I know what it is. But it's like, but that's the thing. It's bringing those people in at a reasonable price because those people are paying that cheaper. They don't care about Facebook tracking them.
Yeah.
But it's also, once that next one comes out or another brand comes out that they hear of, they're going to be open to it now.
Yep. Wow, $500 for your data? Yeah, it kind of tells you what Facebook thinks of your personal data versus what they think of the hardware that they're sending out, doesn't it?
Yeah. So, but, I think this is a huge miss for the Vive, for HtC.
Would I use Cat 7 LAN for gaming? I don't know what that means.
Cable, I assume?
Cat 7 really isn't an official spec by the IEEE, and so you've got Cat 6 or Cat 6A or Cat 5E, all of which is gig capable, but yeah, I don't understand that question. Anyway, Vive Pro 2. At one time, they were kind of the market leader. They were probably the better option than the original Oculus Rift because of the Steam VR tracking. But now that the Valve Index is a thing, they've kind of fallen behind. And while this is one of the best screens you can get in a consumer VR headset outside of the Pimax 5K and 8K headsets, I'm not sure what this brings. I'm not sure what the Vive 2 brings to the market.
I mean, this really should have been released 3 years ago, and it would be a big game changer, but it, wasn't. The original Vive, what was that, 4 years ago, 3 years ago? 5 years ago.
5,
yeah. So this should have been released probably years after that. It really should have been. And then it would have been like great, but this is 3 years probably past its prime. Other than the fact that it has a really good screen, you're not getting a whole lot. And I'm wondering if most of the money is just being like, we need to make all of our R&D back.
Yeah. April 2016, 5 years exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. So. I had to look it up. But yeah, they beat Oculus to the market originally. They were the superior headset in most ways. By the way, Blazers win running away.
Oh, Did they?
So good.
Oh my god.
Yeah. 105.98. Yeah, and it wasn't even that close.
Well,
they were up 16 points at one point just a couple of minutes ago.
I don't think the Jazz really needed it, though.
Jazz were playing like they did.
Really?
Jazz were playing like they wanted to lock it up because now they have to win tomorrow. And
you can't see it, but I'm angry.
I assumed as much. Yeah, the Jazz needed this game because Portland plays Phoenix tomorrow. So yeah, if the Blazers decide they don't need it, who knows what that game becomes. If it could mean getting the 4 versus the 5 spot, yeah, the Blazers are going to go get it. If Mavericks lose and Lakers lose and whatnot and no one cares anymore, then I guess no one cares anymore. And Phoenix and Blazers will kind of be in lockstep with that. So we'll see how tomorrow works out. Anyway, I was going to open another beer, but John is still AFK. I feel really...
Yeah, my battery died.
Yeah. So,
Nothing.
Replace John with the Duras sisters. Right. I actually don't have that image pulled up right now. I apologize.
Got probably one more time. This will fail. And that should be theoretical. Do this.
All right, I can hear you again.
This. I should be back up for a little bit.
I can hear you.
Yeah, all right, there we go. And then it's going to probably die one more time. Basically, both of my batteries are so dead that when I plug my camera in, it's like, I still don't have enough juice.
Yeah.
And charging one now to give it that little bit of extra juice.
Yeah.
So I'll probably kill out in 10 minutes, and then that should be the last time.
Cool.
So.
All right.
Yes. Did you get another beer?
I did not. I was planning on opening one, but I figured it'd be rude while you were diving under your desk for a 4th time. So.
Oh no. So I already got mine. So if you'd like to get yours.
Yeah, I've got it in my hand. So.
Oh, okay. So what did you end up getting?
Well, tell you what. Do I go with a red or do I go with a smooth ale?
I mean, I am always a fan of a red.
Red.
So.
Yeah. Ex Novo JB Shot First.
Oh.
8% Imperial Red. Brewed with Amarillo and Centennial hops.
Oh, I think you're gonna get a lot of hop then.
Oh, there's a lot of hop. There's a lot of malt in this one too. I cheated and I had one of these cans a couple of days ago.
Oh, okay. I was like Centennial in a red. Ooh,
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's more like a red IPA.
It's a red IPA at this point. Okay. It really is. But
yeah. I do love. I will look out for that one because that sounds delicious.
Yeah.
I am a
this
sucker for a good
cream colored head, nice clear amber color. Yeah,
that's good looking. That's good looking. So I am gonna go a little bit bigger. I was wrong. It's not 13%. It's 11, but it's Sierra Nevada's Optimum.
Oh, okay.
So it's their triple IPA, 11% Optimum.
There it is. From Novella Hub, John sounds like he's fixing a printer.
I had to change stupid toner today, or like toner waste. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
The frustration.
Yep. Yeah, I had gosh. How long was I there? I started for an organization in 2007, and I think the second day they were having me refill toner cartridges. I didn't say replace, I said refill, where we took a soldering iron with a special circular tip on it, burned a hole into the side of a toner cartridge, put raw toner inside the cartridge, put a plug in it to seal it back up, and then we would deploy those. I think I did 2 of those cartridges, and I said, yeah, we're not doing that anymore. we are buying reman cartridges before we do that again.
You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and. All right.
And oh my God, this beer is good. It's orange and lemon on the nose.
Oh wow, that's a perfect pour. Look at that.
Give it up for John.
That's right. It's like I've never done this before.
I don't think I can compete with those skills.
You're right. Yeah, this is what you miss. I missed this.
I missed this. Soda doesn't do that. Let's see your hard seltzer pull this off.
That's right. I do have some Rainier hard seltzer I have purchased for Rhett.
Nice.
It's gonna be my fantastic gift to Rhett. Like, I saw this, I was like, I'll never drink this, but I know someone who will.
I know.
The best part, it's like totally hipster flavor. It's huckleberry. It's like, oh, how hipster could you get?
Huckleberry Sweater Vest. I think we just came up with his permanent name.
Yeah.
Have I ever told you the tale of old Huckleberry Sweater Vest?
Oh, that's great.
Sorry, Rhett. All right. Since we have some fresh pours, we do have some beer news to get to this week.
Yeah, it's kind of exciting, kind of interesting. Actually, this one, it's not very exciting, but it actually could be for us.
Mm-hmm.
So, Yuenglings beer, we make fun of it all the time. It's a major player on the East Coast.
We kind of make fun of it.
We kind of make fun of it. Well, we always do the Star Wars meme.
Slaying Yuenglings. Yeah.
Yeah. It is a huge thing in the East Coast. I mean, it is super popular. It is the oldest craft brewery in America, coming in at 192 years. It is still owned by the same family and everything. And this is the first, even they're, I think, the 4th largest producers of beer in the United States as well.
Yep.
They are competing with the big boys too, the Budweiser and Molson Coors. They are expanding out west for the first time. They are expanding to Texas for the first time, and they even so far as went to sealing their secret recipe book and transporting it over to Texas. Yep. And Texas will soon be getting Yuenglings beer. They're saying fall of this year. The other interesting thing, though, is because Texas is now, that single state alone is larger than their current distribution area.
Right.
The cool thing about this is that Texas beers that are made there can be shipped to Oregon and are shipped to Oregon.
Yep.
And all over the West Coast. That means people on the West Coast can now actually, possibly within the next end of year, be getting fresh Yuenglings. And I thought that was actually pretty cool because we've always kind of talked about it. We've gotten the Hershey Yuenglings.
I've always wanted to cosplay as Anakin, so this will be perfect. Right,
exactly. You're always wanting to do stuff. But I'm always hearing talk of that, of like, I want Yuenglings is a great lager. Like, I kind of want to try it. But right now, for people here on the West Coast, you have to pay a premium because you have to basically beer trade for it. And it's just like, it's a lager,
Yeah.
It's known for being the craft Pabst. Cheap, easy, available, and soon it actually might be distributed almost nationwide. I probably, not Hawaii or Alaska, but, the major 48 states. So I thought that was actually pretty darn cool. So I'm looking forward to that. Now they're only going to be brewing their staple ones, the regular Yuenglings, their light lager, their golden pilsner, and their flight 95 calories. So they're not going to be brewing any of the special Hershey's one, or I think they even tried to make an IPA. But maybe we'll just be able to at least try the regular standard lager, the one we want to be slaying younglings with.
I love all the comments right now. It's pronounced Yuenglings. I said what I said.
Yeah. No, it's younglings now. I know everyone says Yuenglings. It's younglings.
It's
to
younglings.
me. It's always younglings.
Yeah. How else does Anakin slay younglings? So
exactly. Oh, that's
yeah.
good. And then another really quick beer news, because there wasn't a whole lot this week.
Mm-hmm.
But another thing in Texas is actually pretty cool, which I really enjoy, is that Texas did pass a alcohol to-go sales is now permanent throughout the state of Texas. So if you are in Texas and you do want to get younglings, but for some reason there's a freak snowstorm, you can get it delivered to you. You can get cocktails now delivered to you. Stores, restaurants, and everything are going to be able to be permanently able to sell you drinks to go and deliver them. Luckily, we live in an awesome state of Oregon that allows most of that stuff to usually pretty much happen all the time. Well, except the cocktails, but I think we can get it now.
Yeah.
But I think I'm happy for that, because
no, we can still get cocktails.
Yes. No. Yeah. So I think that's cool. So if you're in Texas, and because of all of last year, a lot of states opened that restriction up. It is now going to be permanent in Texas. So if any of our listeners or watchers are in the state of Texas, good for you.
A lot of Texas news today.
Yeah. So, but that is it. There wasn't a whole lot in beer news. I mean, there's the typical. Although, what we did miss was the.
Did I miss it, or did we not talk? No, we talked about the Queen.
Yes. It wasn't in that awesome article I sent you with all the wonderful pop ads.
You were watching.
Yes, I was. Of course I do. I might not have time to comment. Usually, I'll listen, but I can't comment. She's also making a gin.
Oh.
So there is things called Royal Gin or Buckingham Gin. So it is there. The Queen is also making a gin. So, but that article didn't state that. You're like, oh, I'll buy that.
I'll buy that one. Like the beer, the beer I was going, but gin?
Yeah, what do the English know about IPAs?
Right.
They only created it.
Yeah.
But now modern IPAs.
It's kind of like the English language, where they invented it, but we refined it.
Yes.
So
exactly.
Yeah. I mean, we don't sound as sexy when we talk, but at least you can freaking understand us.
Yes. It is a pink gin.
I can say that because it's 5 a.m. there.
Andy's gonna wake up later. What do you say about me? I'm gonna go have another Stella. Show him.
Is he having a rip at me? Right?
What does everyone sound poor? That's funny.
I'm sorry, Andy.
Yeah.
I'm not.
No. I love you, Andy.
All right.
I mean, I'll stop making jokes if he sends me one of those graphics cards.
Yeah. Well, you need to send him the shirt.
I do.
I mean, that's a fair trade.
That is a fair trade. I had so many people ask me on his channel and be like, I want to buy that shirt. As soon as I will give that shirt away to anyone who subs to my channel off of his.
That'd be funny.
That would be funny.
Get yourself a free Andy's t-shirt by
by subbing to Hops and Brews.
Sub to Hops and Brews. You know what? First 5. Why don't we? What are you at? 1,200 now? What do you got?
1320, I think.
Okay,
something like that. So.
Wow, I must have blacked out for 6 months.
Yeah, I know. I should hit over 2 end of the year.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, if you do like the beer content we have on this channel, go check out Hops and Brews. And I'm hoping once all this crap is finally over to actually do a lot more collabs between the two of us.
So. I have some bad ones, but I purposely saved some really amazing ones. I've shown Jeff Some I was like,
some of them is the usual stuff he gives me. Other stuff is like genuinely amazing.
Yeah, well, at least it should be. I mean, we haven't tried it. So
someone said Steel Reserve. Knowing John, yes.
Yeah.
I am keeping his bottle hostage, though. I have one that he gave me so we could do a collaboration, and then COVID hit, and then we haven't.
And he kept it ever since.
And I've kept it ever since. So it's been in safe hands, John. But
yes,
I keep threatening him with it.
Oh, I know, and it's one I really want to try because it is right up our alley. It's like both of ours is like. Oh.
Yeah, that was the Firestone rum drink, wasn't it? It was
that one that was a
or no
not
which
old
one was
fashioned
that?
But Manhattan.
Yeah,
we did the Manhattan and we had it the day before.
Yeah,
or like the week before.
Which bottle do I have of yours?
You have the Fort George whiskey sour.
Oh, the whiskey sour. That's right. Okay.
Yeah. So we were gonna do basically the exact same
video.
Yeah,
for some reason I was flipping it with the Firestone pineapple coconut.
Oh
yeah, which we both had and we both loved, but yeah, no, the Fort George whiskey sour bottle, like it's handwritten on it. It's great.
Yeah, I mean it gets high praise.
I mean I've heard it's pretty good.
So. Yeah, I heard it from my mouth. Oh, John, it's gone. Oh,
wow, that is good. Sorry, I'm trying to remember where I heard that from.
Yeah, there was another whiskey sour that got made from Heathen Brewing, and I've always wanted to pick that up. I could never find it.
Yeah,
I know Heathen made a whiskey sour.
Yeah, no, I saw that one as well. But same thing. I've never seen it on a shelf. So
yeah.
Well, Tavor. Jump on it.
Right? I know. Tavor should.
Yep. All right. Speaking of sketchy rumors, how you like that segue, Linus?
Yeah.
The actual title of this article is Sketchy Rumor Claims Apple is Developing a Nintendo Switch-style gaming console, and John is going to replace his toner cartridge again. But this one is definitively in like I'm sure they thought about it. Maybe they sent something to a mock-up to happen. But man, I don't see them going full bore into a gaming console. Actually, I'm going to take that opinion back.
I totally could.
Can we rewind this tape? Given Apple's new proclivity for their own hardware, for the M1 and stuff like that, at a 35-watt processor, you're in the realm of where GPD Win handhelds are when you can crank 35 watts out of them. Even if they didn't get quite the same performance, if they put most of it into the GPU, they use the low-power CPU cores for doing whatever. Boy, I could see that being a real competitor to the Nintendo Switch.
I think Switch and the bigger box ones, because it's essentially, I mean, imagine a MacBook Pro shrunken down.
Right.
If this rumor is true, it's probably not going to be for 2 years.
Probably, but think of the rumored M2 processors and all of their graphics prowess that's coming to the table.
Exactly. So imagine that literally, a handheld device, and you're just like, I mean, really, because it already is.
Right.
All they have to do is just shrink the screen down, and they're just like, look, it's going to be 250 gigs, and it's going to get hot, sure, but or
because it's not going to have a fan.
Yeah, exactly.
You know damn well Apple's not putting a fan in that thing.
But they're probably going to make it super sleek and super thin, and then the moment it taps on the edge of something, the glass is going to shatter. But still, it can be super powerful.
The glass is going to wrap all the way around the edge to the back side of the device. So no matter where you drop it, the glass is guaranteed to shatter. Like, I'm waiting for that to be the next thing that consumers asked for. We want glass bezels all the way around.
Like, even the pop-out controllers are going to be glassed.
Yeah.
So when you're smashing those buttons, it's going to end up cracking the glass because you threw it too hard.
Our all-new glass joystick and capacitive touch buttons are... Shut up, Johnny.
But I could see them doing this, and I could see them being. I mean, how many people made fun of Microsoft for the Xbox when the Xbox One, or not one, but the first Xbox came out? A lot of people were like, "Look,
wait,
Sega,
the Xbox One or the first Xbox?
The first Xbox.
Okay.
But not Xbox.
Sorry, just trying to.
Yeah, I heard myself when I said that. But when that original one first came out, it was like, come on, guys, you're a computer company, build computers, and
not only that, they're a software company.
Yeah, you know,
Microsoft is not known for their hardware outside of ergonomic keyboards and the first optical mouse. And then that's where their hardware prowess ends, Surface included.
The first one was, you know, everyone hacked it within less than a year. Like, it is literally just a Windows computer. We can run Windows and anything that Windows can run off of this.
Yep.
You know, we can easily upgrade it and blah blah blah. It was just a computer.
Right.
Now what are they? They're one of the major players, and Sega got kicked out because of that. Well, Sega was already dying, but still.
Yeah. Sega was on their way out for their own marketing decisions.
Yes, exactly. But still, you know, what was that? 20 years ago, we were thinking, people were thinking the same thing about Xbox and Microsoft. Why are you doing this? This is dumb. Not so much now.
Like I said, like I had formulated an opinion like in my head. And as soon as I heard myself say it out loud, I went, no, I'm wrong.
Yeah, no,
Nope.
If it is true, because how much do we like the form factor of the Switch? It's not the greatest in graphics, but it's similar to the Oculus of just portability, comfort. It brings people to playing.
I'll tell you how happy I am with it when my GPD Win 3 arrives next week.
Yes. Yeah, you were bragging about that. But imagine that. Thinner and twice as powerful.
Right.
That's probably what you'd get.
Right, because right now, let's take the most powerful handheld on the market. Let's take the GPD Win 3 that literally is launching this week. If you backed it on Indiegogo, which I did, order 2833. First day, baby. Which means I'm shipment number 1. So I'm waiting for my copy finally. Anyway, so let's take
engraving it for you, craft computer.
Right. They better darn well. So the most powerful handheld system on the market, you could argue, is the GPD Win 3. It has an Intel, gosh, is that Rocket Lake or what? Yeah, I think it's Rocket Lake. With Intel Xe graphics on board in an i7-1167G. And performance-wise, it's probably about on par with a 1050 Ti. It'll play just about any game you want. The 720p screen isn't necessarily a looker, but it's also perfectly reasonable, as the Nintendo Switch pointed out, with a 720p screen on it. Yep. Plus, it's 5.5 inches instead of 6, and so you get what some would argue a pretty dramatic drop in screen size, which it totally is, but you also get a bump up in clarity because your DPI is higher, and so it's like 6 half a dozen another, in my opinion.
Plus less power consumption. But
less power consumption because you're powering less of a backlight. Remember, 90% of a backlight from an LCD goes towards the device. The more you know. Happens with monitors too. You ever taken a monitor apart and looked at the LEDs directly? A lot brighter than you think they are.
They're bright. And hot.
Yes. Yeah. But yeah, you take that handheld versus the MacBook Air, the current generation MacBook Air base model, 8-core big little ARM architecture with 7 GPU cores. Man, I hate to say it, but I'm putting my money on the ARM.
Oh yeah,
I'm putting my money on the MacBook to win.
No, and I'm betting whatever, if this is true, will be better than that. I'm betting.
In fact, there's a video.
Go compare the Mac.
Comparing what Apple's first handheld might be versus the GPD Win 3.
Well, we don't know if it would be, but I would say.
Let's just say it runs on an M1. Tell you what, I can benchmark it against the MacBook Pro.
That's what I would do. You know, I would say, or just benchmark it
at whatever Apple considers Retina display, which is probably somewhere between 720 and 1080.
So it would be fun. I think it would be fun. And the rumors state too that they're with big major players, Epic and blah blah blah, game developers. It's basically just saying, hey, it's going to be available with all the major games.
Just compile it with us. It's cool.
Yeah, just compile it with us. It's going to be cool. Nothing really fancy. Again, the big rumor is that Apple might be joining the console wars.
Yeah.
And if it is true, and the direction that the rumors are, it's an interesting rumor.
Right.
Because it's not the typical, I'm going to go build a box.
Mm-hmm.
It's I'm building a tablet.
Right.
That might have a...
Which, by the way, no one has been able to do as well as Apple.
No, as far as
period,
the tablet,
bar none. I don't care. Yeah. Shut up. Your argument is wrong. No one has done it as well as Apple.
It is literally... Nintendo proved the concept that the tablet-style console is possible
is possible and viable and commercially successful.
Yes, and Apple's saying we can refine this and make it 1,000 times better, which Apple is known to do very well.
Yep. Remember, Apple is rarely the first to the market with whatever technology is being introduced, although when they are, it usually sucks. When they're the second to market with the technology, holy crap, are they incredible.
Yeah. So,
with the exception of the original iPhone, which said, screw the physical keyboard on a smartphone, let's just make it a touchscreen display. Yeah. And me being an idiot for the first 18 months of the iPhone being released, I went, I'll never give up my physical keyboard from my Palm Trio 650.
Well, yeah. But, so...
Lesson learned, hashtag 2007.
The interesting thing is, though, okay, so Apple is known for doing all these innovations, possibly the second time around. I would be curious if Apple would introduce right away what Nintendo has been lacking up till now. They just launched a special app or game app for the Nintendo Switch.
They did. They announced that a missing app, and in my opinion, a killer app, is now coming to the Nintendo Switch. And I'm talking, of course, about the calculator, which has been strangely missing from the Nintendo ecosystem. You can now download a full scientific calculator, not graphing. Let's take it one step at a time. You impatient whatever's you.
Yes, we're not past 10 yet.
Calculator, rated E for everyone, mind you. They actually had this rated by the ESRB.
I did not see that.
Right. Rated E for everyone.
Oh my God, they're charging for it too.
Is now available on the Switch for a measly $10.
Oh my gosh.
$9.99 for a calculator. That is on every single person's smartphone.
I love that they also have a TV mode for that.
You can put it into TV mode. I got so excited I knocked my my pop filter out. No, it'll run on the TV too at 1080p.
Oh yeah. Oh God, I want to calculate my tip.
A scientific calculator with clear, easy-to-read multi-line display, which would help those with not-so-easy-to-do math problems. Calculator has an appealing, modern, and practical design, which looks almost identical to the 2006 iPhone. Sure to be popular with all students and engineers. Pick up your copy today for only $9.99 on the eShop.
Oh my gosh. I think that decimal place.
You see? You can totally buy advertisements with me. I'll say them however you want. This voice for sale.
There you go.
So it released literally today, May 12th. It is a one-player game. It's an education and utility developed by Sabec, and it is 53 megabytes if you care to download it. But it does support handheld, tabletop, and TV mode all together in the same application. Those are not DLC, by the way.
Yeah, those are not. And no. I'd like to see your smartphone do all three of those modes. Yeah. Okay.
Peace. Yeah.
Nintendo, the guy who developed it was just like, drop the mic at the conference board. Look what I made.
Yeah.
Boom. This is gonna be huge.
I see Anna Kendrick backing away from the mic doing the.
You know what's gonna? I'm gonna laugh. I'm gonna want to watch. I want to see the game sales of this game. You know, how many people have purchased this game?
Is Nintendo gonna copyright strike Nintendo live or YouTube live streams of this? That's what I want to know.
Oh, maybe.
I want to know that.
Or is this going to be
that is worst? Our intellectual property. You can't do math on YouTube using a Nintendo Switch because we designed the UI, which again was stolen straight from the 2006 iPhone.
Or will this
colors, everything, layout, it's all the same.
Will this be the worst selling game Nintendo has ever developed?
No.
I don't know. For $10.
What is ARMS doing? At $60. Do you remember the trailer for ARMS?
Boxing thing?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, that's horrible.
Yeah, the spring-loaded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I bet it's so.
It was a $60 game.
They're like, hey, look, we're just like the Wii. That's all that game was supposed to be. And it was not like. It was just motion tracking in the sense of you went forward, and that's it. It was so dumb.
Yeah.
I don't even think one of those characters is a downloadable character in Smash Brothers.
No.
Like I think it's like a what they call a spirit. Like, oh, you can summon them, and then they play for like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
That's how bad those characters were.
Still better than Waluigi.
That's true. We're gonna use Mr. Game & Watch over you guys. Yeah. Yes, exactly. It's like he'll be a main character. These guys, not so much.
Yeah.
They're one of the flagship games for our system, but no, Mr. Game & Watch.
Yeah. No, what was the character that got added from like Harvest Valley or Red? Red?
Yeah, it was like Pit or Red or or it was Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing, thank you.
Animal Crossing, yeah.
I knew neither of the words that I said were correct, but you knew exactly what I was talking about.
I knew exactly. And is actually before I started this stream with you, is my son does love playing Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
Because it's just a button smasher, and he loves all the characters, and he can play it with either one of us, and it's just like, oh, it's super fun, and things explode and make cool, flashy things. So
yeah.
But and he started to learn all the characters' names. So, but he does not like that character. He's like, this is dumb, Dad.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna go be Link.
Cool. Animal Crossing Boy. Sorry. Animal Crossing Boy.
Well, that is literally like the Pokemon. It's called Pokemon Trainer. It's like, no. You're not Charizard or Squirtle. You're Pokemon Trainer.
Right.
You're not Ash. You're Pokemon Trainer.
Yeah. So yeah, there are Super Smash Brothers trophies, but this is Animal Crossing Boy. He is more important to the Nintendo franchise than the unnamed characters in ARMS. Although there was... Now, this is going to sell more simply because it came with some Switches, but there was that two-player, like, dual... Like, be the first to, like, raise your Joy-Con, even though neither one of us are facing a screen right now, so we're kind of taking video games on a very loose connotation.
Yeah. What is the worst selling game? Now, I know the worst selling video game, but worst selling Nintendo game.
It's probably one of the Virtual Boy first party games.
Yeah, you're probably right. It might be.
worst games of all time, Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival.
Yep.
Or sorry, no, that was not. Whoa.
Whoa. I have Zelda?
List of commercial failures. Here we go.
All right, that's best.
The Wii U is Nintendo's worst selling console.
We're selling. Yeah, I know the Wii U is. Really over the Virtual Boy? That would be hard to. Is the Virtual Boy considered a console?
I think it's technically considered a handheld.
Okay, so yeah. So
it falls under their Game Boy lineup, which Nintendo's 5 most and least successful consoles. No, I want the games.
Okay, what was Nintendo's worst selling game? Earthbound, 1994.
Oh, that was not their worst selling game. Are you kidding me?
It sold poorly, around 140,000 copies.
Yeah, no, they've got to have, because like Earthbound is like worth like $400 today if you have a boxed copy.
Well, that's why it's that's probably why. But then there's ranked. No, what is worst selling? I don't trust this, but this is what Wikipedia stated. That was what Wikipedia stated. Is their worst selling game.
Interesting.
So, that is interesting. Well, but yeah, how oftentimes do you find the worst thing back then for a NES game being the most expensive thing? I mean, how bad what was that, World Olympics or whatever? The gold console being the most valuable game now, and it really wasn't that great, but because of its rarity, it is now expensive.
Right. I have a copy of E.T. and Pac-Man for the Atari 2600 if you're interested.
I do have a copy of E.T. as well.
Nice. I think every person on the planet has a copy of E.T.
Yes.
Like, mathematically speaking, I think you're more likely to have a copy than not. Even though there were only 20 million Atari sold or 2 million Atari sold, there's.
No, I remember. Yeah, I remember.
There was also one ET cartridge for every man, woman, and child.
God, they pumped that thing out.
Mm-hmm.
I remember growing up, and when we had the NES and the Super Nintendo or Super NES.
Yeah.
I'm
familiar.
I wanted to use proper terminology.
Yes.
So basically, those consoles were held in my brother's room. They were kept there.
Yeah.
Steve had his Amiga, and on top of that, we hooked up the Super Nintendo to it because the monitor was RCA.
Yeah.
And they abandoned their Amiga, or not Amiga, but Atari.
Yeah.
And so I had the Atari in my room, and that was my console growing up. So every time I always see these nerd posts of what console did you grow up with? Well, technically I wasn't born then, but I grew up with the Atari.
Yeah.
Because that was mine because it was a hand-me-down.
Yeah.
But I remember
what's really funny is my brother was actually over at my house the other day, and I had my arcade system set up on my coffee table. And he goes, "What kind of games do you have on here?" I'm like, "What do you want to play?" Because I have everything. And I went, "Oh, let's go to SNES. So there's a couple good titles on there." He goes, "What's that one?" And I went, "Oh crap, you were born in '97. You don't even know." So my brother's significantly younger than I am.
You're a 64 boy.
Right. No, he was born after the 64 came out.
Yeah, you're a GameCube. Ugh.
GameCube was the first one that he would have a vivid memory of yeah, I played this console all the time. PlayStation 2?
Yeah. I was
in fact, I think it was PS2. But yeah, he's significantly younger than I am, and then I have a sister who's even 2 years after that. Yeah, their memory of video games is far different than mine is.
Oh yeah, no.
But no, it was funny. It's what's that one? And I went, Super Nintendo? He goes, oh, okay. Yeah, I think I remember you playing that one when I was younger, but really, all I remember you playing was like Ocarina of Time. And I'm like, oh.
Well, actually, I will. I mean, most of my memories are like Street Fighter, Super Punch Out, Final Fantasy 2, Final Fantasy. Well, America 2, America 3. Yes. Oh, yeah. Exactly. That got me in love with everything.
Yes.
There were some other really Super Contra, everything, but again, it was more of because my brothers. Technically, that's the console I would have been my generation, but because they hogged it, I had to use the older generation because like, oh, these are open. I can play with them, and I could go to the local movie store, rental store, which which one I'm talking about.
Yes.
And it was $1 for the NES game to rent. I was like, oh, I'm gonna go do Battletoads,
right,
and Mario 3 and regular Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
Yep.
And I'll rent that, and or Ninja Turtles, which was extremely hard, but I'll play that.
Yeah.
And
no,
and my brothers won't bug me.
Right. No, we had an original Nintendo. We had an SNES. We also got a Sega Genesis along the way. So I was a dueler for 16-bit consoles.
We had an NES.
I had Urban Strike and I had Clay Fighter, and I had.
Clay Fighter. God,
I could play both sides of that aisle, and it was great.
We had a just for like 2 days because I won it off a bet from my neighbor.
I remember this.
And he then went and cried to his mom. And said and then his mom said like, no, we paid for that and he wasn't allowed to do this. I was like, I want it fair and square.
Yeah.
He lost, and
that
for those
owes me a console.
Exactly. And that we had to give it back. But it came with like Sonic 2 or 3. And do you remember Michael Jackson's like Moonraker or Moonwalker?
Yeah.
It came with that. I was like, oh, this is a horrible game.
We had all the Sonics, including Knuckles. We had Tasmania, which if you've never played the like Lion King levels of hard.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh God, it's an awful, poorly written game that looks like you're playing like a cartoon of Taz from Tasmania, but oh man, is it just
I remember that
you're
game.
Gonna die.
Yeah. You'll never beat it. When you're young, you'll never beat it.
Right.
No, well.
Like when I was younger, like level 3 was like, oh my God, I made it here.
Yeah. Well, I remember
there's 9 levels. Oh crap.
When we had the Sega, we were like, oh, we're gonna go get Mortal Kombat because it was bloody for that one. For the Super Nintendo, it was green blood or something like that. And where the
Super Nintendo was green blood versus the Sega was red.
Was red. It was like, oh, we got to go get the red. But then it was 3 buttons, so we were so used to, oh, we know all the moves.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we had to relearn everything. It was like, well, this is horrible.
Yeah.
You can't do anything with 3 buttons.
Right. Yeah. Comic Zone. Oh God, yes. By the way, it's CO. No, it is Comic Zone. Just straight up. I thought there was an X on there. Is it Comics Zone? Yeah, Comics Zone. COMIX. That's right. Yeah, no, I freaking love Comic Zone. Such a great game.
No, I love. I'll still go back and play older games. Well, that will kind of similar back to the Apple, but you were talking about what's the console you bought? The handheld one that you were into.
Oh, GPD.
The GPD.
Yeah.
I a lot of times I end up playing retro stuff on that.
Oh yeah.
On those things, and those are like kind of I'm on an airplane or I'm on a road trip or something. I'm on like a 2-hour trip. I'm gonna go play some game. I remember I don't play the remastered version. I play the original version that I remember.
Yeah.
And I don't care if I played it 300 times.
Nope.
It's still good.
I've said multiple times on this channel, but I've held this for a long time. I I annually will play Final Fantasy 2, Final Fantasy 3 all the way through, no cheats, no fast forward, no nothing, just like 20-hour grind and like 100% runs. Like I've done everything. I've unlocked every character. I have every special ability. I have every character at 99 level, regardless of like what it's like. No, I will do that every single year. I love those games so much.
They are good games, and that's a testament to them. I mean, the story is great. The gameplay is fantastic, and when you grow up with that type of stuff, even just replaying that, it puts you in that state of mind, that mood of kind of like, this is almost a Zen-like quality, and I don't need drugs or anything to get there. So like, I can relax and just hang on. Let me play my game, and I almost get frustrated when someone interrupts me, even though I know how to do it. I know what's coming up next.
I could virtually play it blindfolded.
Yes, exactly. And it's just like, you interrupted. Why did you do that? Why did you do that? You know? Although then I have to say, okay, I've beaten this game 500 times. It's okay. You know, I do that. I think, same Final Fantasy 2, 3. I do it with a couple Mega Mans. I do I do Monkey Island. What's the other? Full Throttle.
Oh God, yeah.
Sandmax,
I love Full Throttle.
Day of the Tentacle.
The Dig.
I do the Dig a lot. Actually, yes.
Yes, my man.
It was so funny. I had a friend who is an archaeologist. Sorry. And they're like, oh, I play all these games. Like, you ever play the Dig? And they're like, no. It's like, go play that game.
Sorry, Novella Hub says, have you taught your kids what Channel 3 was on the TV yet?
Rabbit ears.
So no. So this was a story from a couple of weeks ago. We were all snuggled up in my bed. Like the girls woke up early or something like that. Like one of them at 5 and one of them at 5:30. And it's like, screw it. We're at like let's watch Bubble Guppies. I don't care.
Yeah.
You know, just let me sleep.
Let's do something fun, and then you know, your wife's like, why are you doing this? You're like, that's fun.
No, it was like, we both want to sleep. Here, shut up, please watch TV until 7. It's like, that's all I want. I'm a great father, by the way. But no, both of them woke up early, and so it's like, here's a TV show and knock yourselves out. And at one point, one of us rolled over and landed on the TV remote and changed it to a different input, and the screen went blue. And my oldest daughter went, whoa, what happened? And I said, oh, someone hit their remote and changed the channel. And she goes, what's a channel? Right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's true. That is true.
She has no concept of what channel is.
Because, well, everything right now is it's not on, I'll go stream it. I'll go grab it. I have it on my server.
We haven't had cable or satellite TV service for probably 6 years, and she's 8. And so she doesn't know what a channel is, even in like satellite terms. So to her, we turn on a Roku and everything is there. It's just, there's different applications, and then you select the show, and then that's it. Except if dad is watching sports, and then it's a live event, but that's very rare.
And it's probably live streamed.
Right. And she has no at all comprehension of what a channel is. Not even like analog, digital, cable, whatever. Just doesn't know.
If she saw, even then, it would be amazing to be like, here's these channels. And then someone tried to explain to them, here's the channel U. Do you remember the channel U?
Yeah.
You know, on the dial
TVs? I grew up with the click, 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 click. Right.
Yeah, like
we had 13 and then 64 on the extended dial.
Yes,
like,
exactly. Yep,
I know.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, I know you know.
Right.
It makes good conversation. Yeah. No,
Your camera died again.
Yeah! It was going so good, I stopped paying attention.
It was so good. I hate to bring you that news, John, but but it did.
Toner!
I've been off of you for like 30 seconds now. Is a floppy disk the save icon? she actually does know kind of what a floppy disk is, because she's asked me about my coasters before, and so we've had the discussion. By the way, I don't actually use floppy disks. I would never treat floppy disks like that. This is literally a silicone coaster. But yeah, she didn't know what a channel was, didn't know what a no clue.
Yeah, well, I mean, my son is literally just turn this show on. I want to see this, and it's these days. It's just I can. Oh, we don't have that. That's not live. I can. It's on my server. Hang on.
Right.
I got it. There you go.
It's on Plex.
It's on Plex. It's on you. It's not. I don't have a download. Okay. There's a YouTube.
Best of all, there's no questions about how Daddy acquired it on Plex.
There's that too. But if it's not, it's like here's a YouTube one. Give me 20 minutes.
Right.
Right. Just to be quiet because I'm at work. Mommy's pulling her hair out, listening to you.
Teach kids about SneakerNet. Oh, we're not even close to that conversation yet. Do you know what SneakerNet is, John?
I do not.
SneakerNet is how quickly you can transfer data by hand rather than by cable.
Oh.
So it's a sneaker net, so you're actually like running the data from one place to another. It's your sneakers.
Okay, I get it.
XKCD does a fantastic breakdown back when the largest micro SD card you could get was 2 gigabytes. Compared to the transatlantic fiber line. Like, what's the capacity of the transatlantic fiber line versus a FedEx plane full of micro SD cards?
Yes.
What's the bandwidth? Latency aside, how quickly can we get that much data from one side to the other?
Okay, that's funny that you say that because before I came into my company, they were still doing that.
Yeah. The bandwidth's incredible, but the latency is insane.
So, we're talking modern times. It should have been fine, right? But as far as 5 years ago, my company was literally still burning DVDs and shipping them to offices of being like, here's the latest data.
Yep.
And it was like, are you kidding me?
I had sites within 20 miles of each other that were synchronizing email backups over 1.5 meg T1 lines. And in fact, later on down the line, we had like centralized servers for one of these locations spread across 40 miles or so, but one of the locations didn't have bandwidth or didn't have broadband yet. It still had a T1 line. And so we ran redundant servers that would back them, or that would get the new data every night.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah.
So we had a server on site that could disseminate the data out to the clients, but it didn't. It had all of its data was 24 hours behind.
Oh yeah, no. This was literally what it was. Was someone was for like 3 hours of their day was to burn yesterday's data onto a DVD and FedEx them overnight for like 3 hours. That was they had to do the 10 offices and back it up, and then FedEx it, and then it was like. Why would you do this? This is dumb. There's like,
the only times you or I have ever been guilty of automating someone out of their job is the person who burned the disk that went to the satellite office.
Yeah, I mean, So, well, I didn't. They still gave her a job somewhere else.
Right.
She actually, the best story is, and this comes back till today is. She's now the toner ink cartridge person, and I still had to take care of it. I saw that. That was number 3 for you.
Number 3, yeah. Open my third one. This is from Iron Horse Brewing up in Washington. This is Quilter's Irish Death, a wonderful standby, classic beer, classic Northwest beer. It's an Irish smooth ale, and this one... This is kind of crazy right now. So, John, normally what would you pay for a bomber of Irish Death? Because it usually comes in the 26-ounce bombers.
The 20, usually those
1.9, right?
Yeah. They usually come at about $5-6,
right?
Ish, something like that.
So they sell it in pints now.
Yep.
$5.99.
$5.99
for 4.
What? No, $5.99 a can or
$5.99 4-pack.
That's you could.
I bought 3 of them when I saw it.
That's like Budweiser price.
Right. That's $1.50 a can.
And that's $1.50 a pint.
Right. A pint, not a 12 ounce. A pint. $1.50 a pint. Of one of the best smooth ales you will ever have.
Oh yeah, and that is if you are a home brewer or a guy who's looking to brew and look for that stout, I need to perfect. Irish Death. Yeah. Right there.
7.8%.
It's that great like malty, chocolatey, smooth. Yeah. It's gonna have this velvety foam.
It's a creamy body feel. It's chocolatey. It's a little roasty. Yeah. It's incredibly smooth. Oh man. But yeah, no, Costco had this for $5.99 for 4-pack.
Oh my God.
Normally I'm happy to pay $6 for a bomber.
Yeah. No, everyone does that for the bomber. I think they have a couple of, well, that's the thing too, because when you asked me that, it was, they have some of the specialty ones in like the 12 ounce cans, and those are still like $3.50.
Yeah.
For 12 ounce, and it's a specialty version that you're talking, here is an amazing price. So I might have to, did you get the local Costco?
Yes.
I might.
Well, you're local to a different Costco than I am.
I know which. When I said that, I'm
at my local Costco.
Yes. It's not that. I think it's only like 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's a little further than the Costco you go to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
You
know what? Well.
Yeah. There we go. Iron Horse Brewery, $5.99, 4-pack.
Yeah. Well, if you're gonna have one, I'm gonna go grab another one because I'm done too. And you can. Do you want to do the last one? The last article?
Yes, I do. Actually.
All right, you go ahead and do that, and I'm gonna go.
Okay. That one. I forgot to bring up the notes on it though. Here we go. I got it. I didn't make a tab for it on my thing because I wasn't sure we'd get to it. Anyway, I teased this in the title, and I think it is just an interesting and funny and sad and whatever else you want to call it story. And that is how not to gain Instagram followers. So a woman in Miami this week was charged with 3 separate counts, one of them of trespassing on school grounds, one of them of resisting an officer, and another of something else. I don't remember exactly what, but the punchline of the story is a woman trespasses in a Miami high school and poses as a student to gain Instagram followers. So this lady, who is 28 years old, Audrey Nicole Francisquini, a Carnival Cruise Line employee who works in sales, entered American Senior High School in Miami on Monday. Security confronted her once. She said she was a student and looking for the registration office. They pointed her in the direction and she walked completely the opposite direction. She then walked down a couple halls with some students in them and was blocking them from entering their classroom and handing out literally like business cards with her Instagram handle on it. Which the article has to clarify what a handle is. Her Instagram username, aka handle. And school security noticed her again and notified administration of a potential threat on campus grounds. She realized she was being cornered because like 6 people were walking at her from 3 different directions, and so she walked to the nearest exit and left the premises, refusing orders from police to stop and submit to a search. This had been a definitely planned affair because she printed all of these business cards out with her Instagram handle on them. And
no.
But here's the deal. Here's how stupid do you have to be, okay? If you're handing out what is literally personally identifiable information, how long do you think it's going to take them to track you down? Here's my Instagram. don't tell anyone because what I'm doing right now is illegal.
Well, will they follow you before they track you down?
That's true.
Because
now they got to see what that orange jumpsuit looks like.
There's that, but they're probably going to be like, you know what? We're going to need to follow her to see where she's going to be going.
That's
and
right.
She's like, great, I got an extra follower. Well, it just happens to be the police department. But whatever, it's a follower.
Yeah.
And they have hundreds of thousands of followers too, so they're going to see me.
Yeah. So she handed out like 1,000 business cards with her Instagram handle on them while blocking kids from being able to get into their class while trespassing on high school property. It didn't take the cops long to find her. In fact, they arrested her like 6 hours later at her home.
Posing, I assume, with the duck lips?
Right, yeah. So she already appeared Tuesday for a bond hearing. She's been charged with burglary of an occupied dwelling with a bond of $15,000, one for trespassing on an educational institution and interference with a bond of $500, and one for resisting an officer without violence to his person with a bond of $1,000. So yeah, if you ever wanted to know how not to gain Instagram followers, this is probably it. Trespass onto a high school and hand out business cards with your handle on them.
Yeah.
I didn't think I had to say that, but hey, the more you know here on Talking Heads.
Exactly. I mean, what she needed to do was just live stream that whole entire thing.
Mm-hmm.
Then she would have gotten some followers.
That's how you get Twitch followers. You need to follow people into restrooms if you wanted to gain Twitch followers, I hear.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dr. Disrespect did nothing wrong. Right. Yeah. This one amused me on so many different levels. First and foremost, the stupidity of you walked into a state facility with a well-known quantity of security cameras and campus officers.
Well, she, you know what it was probably because someone told her all of those security cameras where people like on the computers being like enhance was bogus.
Right.
And so she's like, they'll never see my face because it's blurry. No, you're gonna get caught. I mean, it's not that great, but you're still gonna get caught. All CSIs.
As Steve Hofstetter would say, I have you being an idiot from 3 different angles.
Yeah. It's just this was the stupidest thing. I mean, I did this before, and I got at least 1,000 subs, followers. So
right.
But I was respectful. I let people.
But here's the deal. Here's the secondary deal of someone who literally makes a living on social media anymore. When I hand out my demographics, when I give a potential advertiser my demographics, it's literally what they want. What an advertiser wants to see, depending on their market. But for most markets that I feel I appeal to, it's what they're looking for as well. It's the manscaping, the Linode, the home labber, the IT professional. It is a man somewhere between 25 and 40 years old and higher income.
That medium income with a little bit of extra spending.
Right.
Money.
That's what my demographics are. 78% of my audience, in fact, are between the ages of 25 and 40. And male. With a 1.5% female. So thank you, ladies, who happen to be watching. But
make sure to buy them that Manscaped groomer.
So like when I hand out my demographics to Manscaped, they go, wow, that's literally who we want to sell to. I can't imagine the advertising company that would reach out to an Instagram influencer and say, what are your demographics? And they say 14 through 17 year olds.
Yeah. I mean, not uncommon, unfortunately, but
Right.
it's
It's less common than it's more common than we want to think, but it's also not necessarily what most advertisers are looking for anyway.
No, unfortunately, I have to sit there and disagree with
Okay,
that.
okay.
But,
Yeah.
I think it's just deplorable.
Yes.
And this kind of goes back to the net neutrality of business just want to make a buck and aren't thinking of a bit of a greater good. But yeah, this eventually kind of led to someone thinking they could do something like this, and it's totally okay, and it's not. And someone who does social media for a living like yourself, it is literally a business, and it's an income. And some of your friends and the people that I know is like they treat it as a business, and they're successful at it.
If I walked into a local high school and handed out my business cards and literally got every person in the local high school to subscribe, my business would not increase by more than 1%.
Yeah, no, it's
nope.
No, it's this comes off as one of those desperate of like, I got this brilliant idea because buying subs no longer works because Instagram automatically, deletes them from India or China or wherever they buy them from because, they don't sub or interact.
Right.
This is totally fine. I'm just handing my business cards out.
We'll just talk about Bitcoin and you'll get the bots to flood to you.
Yeah. So this is just someone so detached. And please don't do this. Please do not do this.
Like I said, public service announcement from here at Craft Computing.
Yeah.
Please do not trespass on a high school and hand out your Instagram handle in hopes of gaining traction on social media.
You know what this
It will end poorly for you.
You remember when we went to what was the thing in Seattle, the conference thing 2 years ago? PAX. And remember the guys handing the CDs out and they were like literally forcing it on us?
Right.
This
by the way, that is a scam.
That is a scam. Oh, yeah, totally. Yeah. That's a scam too.
Yeah. Didn't Steve walk out with 2 of them and no money?
I think so too. I think I still have I got mine for free because I was like, I'll take it, but I'm not paying for it. Like, yeah, just listen to it. I was like, I'll tell you what, I'll listen to it. If I like it, I'll send you money. Yeah. Nope, never did.
Yeah.
But it feels like that. It feels like that person. Look, buy it. I'll check my CD out. They feel like they're hustling, and honestly, it's not. It's the wrong kind of hustling. You're putting the wrong energy in the wrong place.
Yep.
And don't do that. Don't do that, please.
Yeah. This is an MLM gone wrong. Which, by the way, all MLMs go wrong. Do you want to buy any leggings, John?
Well, I mean,
yeah.
Well, I am a unique niche market, Jeff.
Okay. Yes. No, I've seen your leggings.
Yeah. So I mean, the nice part
very
is
distinguished.
My leg hair is blonde, so I don't really have to shave them to make it look like they're shaved.
It's one of your favorite features, I gotta say.
It actually is one of my wife's favorite features to rub my inner thigh because it is so smooth. You think I'm lying, but I'm not.
I know you're not, and that's why I'm laughing.
It is actually smoother than when my newborn son's skin was. They were like, let's compare, and my inner leg thigh was smoother.
Kid's going, what the hell?
If I could pass down anything to my son, it is my inner leg skin. Like how smooth it's gonna be, son. Oh, you're gonna get that inner leg thigh model contract for sure.
Reminded of a story, but I'll tell it in the after show.
But speaking of the after show, if you do want to hear that story or you want to check out some of the other fantastic things, you do have to join the Discord channel. It is only a minimum of $1, and it is probably one of the best Discords you will ever find. It's even better for the bang for your buck. It's a minimum of $1. You are more than graciously enough willing to do more. But a minimum of $1 will get you in the foot. You can join the float plane as well, but that is about $2. Both are great. But it gets you access, like Jeff said, to everyone, the other hosts, myself, Jeff, Steve, Rhett, And there is a super secret after party that lasts, undetermined amount of time.
Midnight-ish? West Coast?
Yeah. And it is a fantastic time. Basically it's an open chat forum. You can do video chat with all of us, just audio if you want. We talk about whatever you want. And throughout the weeks, we have so many other channels in the Discord. We have memes, we have trades, we have cars, we have media, we have music. We have a specific channel just for talking heads specifically. So there are special chats that we look at that you don't even see in the YouTube chat. There's just a awesome community in there. Honestly, literally, there are other big YouTubers that are joining this Discord just because it's so cool.
Yep.
So
it's a fun time. Let's see. John can be sponsored by a lotion company.
I could.
Today's episode of Hops and Brews is brought to you by Oil of Olay.
I know. I'm gonna do that and
Herbal Essence.
Herbal Essence or Pert Plus. Oh God, I love me some Herbal
John's
Essence.
got the urge.
I did love me some Herbal Essence.
John's got the urge to herbal.
What does the NFL do? They do the what's the dandruff one?
Pert Plus or Head and Shoulders?
Head and Shoulders.
Head and Shoulders.
The NFL does all the Head and Shoulders thing.
Well, that was Palomalu that had that gig.
Quarterback for the Chiefs. He
doesn't
know.
Yeah. Does he?
Yeah, he doesn't know.
Huh.
They do it both. They go off of each other.
Yeah.
So, we don't do insurance companies like Green Bay or Aaron Rodgers.
Patrick Mahomes,
thank you. Yeah, because he's got some springy hair.
That is true. I could see that connection. Spoon wants to know if either of us TikTok and do we want a TikTok? And I said no.
Nope. No, I do not want a TikTok. My only TikTok is a watch. Yours is digital.
Mine doesn't TikTok. Hops and Brews sponsored by Voss.
What is that cheap dollar store?
That's Voss.
Is it Voss?
VOS. Yeah. The gold and black labels. Triangle bottles. Yeah.
And aqua. What's that hairspray? Aquavit.
Aquavina.
Aquavina. I do that too.
Yeah. I need to do an Old Spice. I'm on a horse.
Oh yeah. I want to do like Jerry Curl or something like that. What was that stuff on Coming to America?
Oh God, what was that?
What was that? But you know that curling product.
Yeah. Jerry Curl. Jerry Curl. Yeah.
But leaked all over the couch.
Yeah.
Just let it glow.
Ask LeVar Burton about Jerry Curl for his screen test for TNG. See, a little bit of Star Trek talk.
Oh yeah.
Go watch the original screen tests of Geordi LaForge.
And that mustache and that hair.
That hair. Oh, that hair.
Oh, that hair. Oh, and Jeopardy. Jeopardy's coming up. I think it's sometime
July 25th, June 25th, something like that. Yeah, it's the last week in June, I believe. LeVar Burton hosting.
All literally thanks to Twitter Star Trek fans.
Yeah. He taught us growing up. Why can't he teach us now?
Yeah.
Is there a better person you can think of? No, there's not.
No, I mean, it really was more
Joe Buck.
Rainbow, but
Joe Buck. It's the best you can come up with. How can he ask questions with Aaron Rodgers? And that's all we have for today's show. We have one more super chat to get to. Jay with a $5 donation. This is for introducing me to the MikroTik CRS 305. Thank you for the beautiful rabbit hole of not having my storage array fighting with 1 gigabit. You are more than welcome, good sir. 10 gig is one of the best things you can do for a home lab, especially if you are file server dependent. And most of the services that I run is for file hosting and file services. So You are more than welcome. Hope it is serving you well. Anyway, this has been episode 183 here on Talking Heads, every Wednesday night on Craft Computing right here on YouTube. If you like this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to Craft Computing if you haven't done so already. By the way, there were at least 145 concurrent viewers and I only see 70 likes, so get your on that.
Yeah.
If you like the beer content on this show, make sure to check out Hops and Brews. Link is also down in the video description. Subscribe to him. Check out beer reviews, monthly challenges. What else do you want to throw out there?
I don't know. I mean, hopefully, maybe this
It can't be your dashing good looks because we know that's a lie.
I know that is a lie. I have to use a lot of Photoshop and Premiere Pro.
I have a new 3D Mesh Premiere plugin that I could probably give you. It applies a beauty filter frame by frame.
I'm basically I was thinking about doing a whole episode via Instagram.
It'll lower your forehead too. It's great.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Anyway, that has been tonight's show. Thank you so much for joining us here. And as always, we'll see you next Wednesday.
See you guys.
Cheers, everyone.